Karabag, and Victor Moses is on the bench for the first time since mid-October. They look solid today, don't they, Chelsea? Glenn, what do you make? Just 6 league starts for Chelsea, but he's been Liverpool's best player so far with 14 goals.
Mignolet, and it's 1-1.
It's definitely not a shot. You can rule that one out straight away. Obviously, from Chelsea's point of view, it doesn't matter.
Morata. Can Chelsea steal it here? The cross is a low one. Luna nods it down. Salah gets the shot away, and it's saved by Courtois. Away to his left-hand side, the Progressive Insurance stoppage time is 3 minutes. That's it. Hugely entertaining. Perhaps a fortunate equaliser, but the pressure towards the end paid dividends for Chelsea. Willian.
Head-to-head here on Merseyside today, the 177th meeting in total. In fact, they've today multiple changes for Liverpool after the Champions League in midweek, 5 in all from Tuesday. Mignolet returns in goal, Joel Matip is back in defence, James Milner starts in midfield with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in as well, supporting Daniel Sturridge, who starts up front. Karius, Wijnaldum, Lovren, Firmino and Mane drop out, and Adam Lallana is on the Liverpool bench for the first time this season. As for Chelsea, Antonio Conte has rotated his team after their long trip to Azerbaijan. Cahill, Christensen, Drinkwater, Bakayoko and Morata all come into the starting lineup. It's essentially the team that hammered West Brom last weekend in the Premier League. Willian drops out despite scoring against Karabag, and Victor Moses is on the bench for the first time since mid-October. They look solid today, don't they, Chelsea? Glenn, what do you make? Just 6 league starts for Chelsea, but he's been Liverpool's best player so far with 14 goals in 19 games since signing from Roma in the summer. And there's Alvaro Morata. 5 of his 9 goals this season are headers, and you wonder what kind of workout he's going to give the 2 Liverpool central defenders today. 2 managers the last 20 years. So off we go. Liverpool in red in this fixture, and scoring goals for Chelsea against Liverpool, looking to combine here with Morata. Hazard can get on the ball again. Gets it back from Alonso. It's a dangerous ball in. Milner threads it through here to Sturridge. And Cahill was back there, the Chelsea captain.
It was a nice ball by Milner. If he only could...
Forward he goes here for Sturridge. He's waiting for support. Salah provides it for Liverpool. Slightly off target. Been in such fine goal-scoring form this season, Mo Salah, following his move in the summer from Roma. Oxlade-Chamberlain away from Zappacosta. Sturridge didn't get a hold of it. Milner then decided to take it first time and never struck it cleanly.
Trying to get behind Azpilicueta.
Swinging by Milner, straight at Thibaut Courtois. That's a good ball out to Hazard, and the instant control by the Belgian. Hazard makes some room. Down went Mignolet to make the save. It's the first real sign of Chelsea as an attacking threat, and Hazard right at the centre of it.
It's a counter-attack again, wasn't it? Hazard wants to come onto his right foot. It was a good save by Mignolet, because he's whipped it back across the bodies as
again to get away from Henderson. Slips it through for Danny Drinkwater. Mignolet came and did just enough.
So he does well as well. Moreno does well. He just nudges Danny Drinkwater as he runs through. Great run by Drink.
Zappacosta's made a good run here from wing-back, and he went for goal himself. Mignolet there again for Liverpool.
Yeah, a good couple of minutes by Chelsea. And it's Hazard when he gets on the ball.
Cahill, who elected not to strike it. Drinkwater will. It's very scrappy. And Bakayoko got a shot in. Somehow Liverpool managed to keep it out. 5 in the Liverpool wall. Alonso hits it well. Just had Mignolet scrambling across as well.
Some angle, isn't it? The way he approaches the ball.
He knows it's going to be a long game, this.
Salah to Gomez, who was able to squeeze it in from the byline. As with Bakayoko and now Morata. Alonso. Zappacosta's up from wing-back, looking to tee somebody up. Clavan there with an important clearance for Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool got pulled across the box, didn't he? You see that, all edging towards the ball, not getting back. Aches to space.
In from Hazard. And then Morata slightly off target with a header.
Look at that. Crap.
Lovely turn from Cahill, as you can see. See what he had on his mind. Courtois across. Shows good strength, doesn't he? Good control. Lovely little cut back there. Just a question.
Right, Eden Hazard was involved in most of the good attacking play that we saw from Chelsea in the first half, and Mo Salah, Champions League in midweek with the 3 goals they conceded. They don't concede too many here. They don't concede too many in the Premier League, who are pivotal to Leicester's title-winning campaign in the middle of midfield. Hazard gets it back from Bakayoko and went down. He got away with it.
Yes, he did. You're right, though. Daniel Sturridge does really well, but he's the main centre forward, and there's no other Liverpool players gambling at all.
Here goes the corner. Gary Cahill trying to meet it. The bench who maybe unlocked Liverpool today. He's had a really fine season so far for Chelsea. Zappacosta's one of them. Here's the Italian in towards Azpilicueta. I think the slot to sit back down on the Chelsea bench, and was sent back out again by Conte. In he goes to in the Chelsea box, and they managed to find Mo Salah. Azpilicueta was there, dogged, determined. Defends it this time. Might need some help here from Christensen. Salah's beaten into it. Sturridge! What a block from Azpilicueta again. He's been so good defensively today for Chelsea.
Brilliant block.
Will be the first man to come on for Liverpool. Chance. Salah! Goal! The former Chelsea man, Mo Salah, continues his sensational start to the season for Liverpool. 10 Premier League goals for him. Liverpool 1, Chelsea. Fabregas, that's what we know of him. Morata flags up on the far side. That was a more familiar position for Fabregas. Feed the ball, either that or it's just perfection from Fabregas.
The latter.
Again, Coutinho. Through it goes. Salah could be in. Excellent defending again by Azpilicueta, but it's another corner kick.
A fantastic link-up play there between the two creative dynamos for Liverpool. Play it out to safety.
Oh, the swung in. The heads go up. It's a good save. It's an excellent save. The ball was hanging in the air somewhat, but in control of that, but no harm done. Zappacosta kills it in. Alonso was onside, and it fell to his sweet left foot, but he sends it into the stand.
Got his feet mixed up there, Alonso, at the far post. I don't think he was expecting it.
Stays on. It's Zappacosta who comes off, and Willian enters the fray. Scored 2 at Karabag and won 2 penalties as well. Hazard, Willian with the step over. Chip to the back post. No, it goes in. Willian for Chelsea. Delight for Antonio Conte. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? It doesn't matter. It's beaten Mignolet, and it's 1-1.
It's definitely not a shot. I can rule that one out straight away. Obviously, from Chelsea's point of view, it doesn't matter.
Morata. Can Chelsea steal it here? The cross is a low one. Luna nods it down. Salah gets the shot away, and it's saved by Courtois. Away to his left hand. A fortunate equaliser, but the pressure towards the end paid dividends for Chelsea. Willian
Head-to-head here on Merseyside today. The 177th meeting in total. In fact, they've today multiple changes for Liverpool after the Champions League in midweek. 5 in all from Tuesday. Mignolet returns in goal. Joel Matip is back in defence. James Milner starts in midfield with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in as well, supporting Daniel Sturridge, who starts up front. Karius, Wijnaldum, Lovren, Firmino and Mane drop out, and Adam Lallana is on the Liverpool bench for the first time this season. As for Chelsea, Antonio Brom last weekend in the Premier League. Willian drops out despite scoring against Karabag, and Victor Moses is on the bench for the first time since mid-October. They look solid today, don't they, Chelsea? Glenn, what do you make? Just 6 league starts for Chelsea, but he's been Liverpool's best player so far with 14 goals in 19 games since signing from Roma in the summer. And there's Alvaro Morata. 5 of his 9 goals this season are headers, and you wonder what kind of workout he's going to give the 2 Liverpool central defenders today. 2 managers the last 20 years. So off we go. Liverpool in red in this fixture, scoring goals for Chelsea against Liverpool, looking to combine here with Morata. Hazard can get on the ball again. Gets it back from Alonso. It's a dangerous ball in. Milner threads it through here to Sturridge. And Cahill was back there, the Chelsea captain.
It was a nice ball by Milner. If he only could...
Forward he goes here for Sturridge. He's waiting for support. Salah provides it for Liverpool. Slightly off target. Been in such fine goal-scoring form this season, Mo Salah, following his move in the summer from Roma. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Away from Zappacosta. Sturridge didn't get a hold of it. Milner then decided to take it first time and never struck it cleanly.
Trying to get behind Azpilicueta.
Swung in by Milner, straight at Thibaut Courtois. That's a good ball out to Hazard, and the instant control by the Belgian. Hazard makes some room. Down went Mignolet to make the save. It's the first real sign of Chelsea as an attacking threat, and Hazard right at the centre of it.
Counter-attack again, wasn't it? Hazard wants to come onto his right foot. It was a good save by Mignolet, because he's whipped it back across the bodies as
again to get away from Henderson. Slips it through for Danny Drinkwater. Mignolet came and did just enough.
Tony does well as well. Moreno does well. He just nudges Danny Drinkwater as he runs through. Great run by Drink.
Zappacosta's made a good run here from wing-back, and he went for goal himself. Mignolet there again for Liverpool.
Yeah, a good couple of minutes by Chelsea. And it's Hazard when he gets on the ball.
Cahill, who elected not to strike it. Drinkwater will. It's very scrappy, and Bakayoko got a shot in. Somehow Liverpool managed to keep it out. 5 in the Liverpool wall. Alonso hits it well. Just had Mignolet scrambling across as well.
Some angle, isn't it? Where he approaches the ball.
He knows it's going to be a long game, this.
Yeah. Salah to Gomez, who was able to squeeze it in from the byline. As with Bakayoko, and now Morata. Alonso. Zappacosta's up from wing-back, looking to tee somebody up. Clavan there with an important clearance for Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool got pulled across the box, didn't he? You see that? All edging towards the ball, not getting back. Aches the space.
In from Hazard. And then Morata slightly off target with a header.
But that crowd was getting on their back straight away when he looked to play short.
Nice turn by Mo Salah, looking to bend one. Well, he did bend it, but didn't quite bend it far enough.
Yeah, he's Liverpool's danger man. Lovely turn from Cahill, as you can see. See what he had on his mind. Courtois was across. Shows good strength, doesn't he? Good control. Lovely little cut back there. Just a question.
Matches. It's been so impressive in terms of scoring goals. It's a poor ball in by Gomez.
He was a bit younger, inexperienced, but
Morata's going to try one.
Certainly now he's got that experience and that belief. He's started unbelievable, hasn't he? Again, look, he's not being asked to track back too far.
He's got the corner here. A little touch there off Matip on the way through.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
The midfield. Hazard gets it back from Bakayoko and went down. And the free kick, in fact, is going to go.
Oh, Daniel finishes really well, but he's the main centre forward, and there's no other Liverpool players gambling at all.
Here goes the corner. Gary Cahill trying to meet it. The bench maybe unlocked Liverpool today. He's had a really fine season so far for Chelsea. Zappacosta's one of them. Here's the Italian in towards Azpilicueta. I think the slot to sit back down on the Chelsea bench, and was sent back out again by Conte. In he goes towards Morata.
Took a deflection and helped him in the end.
Look at Salah's on the move in the Chelsea box, and they managed to find. Azpilicueta was there, dogged, determined. Defends it this time. Might need some help here from Christensen. Salah's been into it. Sturridge! What a block from Azpilicueta again. He's been so good defensively today for Chelsea.
Brilliant block.
Will be the first man to come on for Liverpool. Chance. Salah! Goal! The former Chelsea man, Mo Salah, continues his sensational start to the season for Liverpool. 10 Premier League goals for him. Liverpool 1, Chelsea. Fabregas, that's what we know of him. Morata flags up on the far side.
Starts for Chelsea, but he's been Liverpool's best player so far, with 14 goals in 19 games since signing from Roma in the summer. And there's Alvaro Morata. 5 of his 9 goals this season are headers, and you wonder what kind of workout he's going to give the two Liverpool central defenders today. 2 managers in the last 20 years. So off we go. Liverpool in red in this fixture, and scoring goals for Chelsea against Liverpool, looking to combine here with Morata. Hazard can get on the ball again. Gets it back from Alonso. It's a dangerous ball in. Milner threads it through here to Sturridge. And Cahill was back there, the Chelsea captain.
It was a nice ball by Milner. If he only could...
Forward he goes here for Sturridge. He's waiting for support. Salah provides it for Liverpool. Slightly off target. Been in such fine goal-scoring form this season, Mo Salah, following his move in the summer from Roma. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I never made it, but I know I...
Sturridge didn't get a hold of it. Milner then decided to take it first time.
Nudges Danny Drinkwater as he runs through. Great run by Drink.
Zappacosta's made a good run here from wing-back, and he went for goal himself. Mignolet there again for Liverpool.
Yeah, a good couple of minutes by Chelsea. And it's Hazard when he gets on the ball.
Cahill, who elected not to strike it. Drinkwater will. It's very scrappy. And Bakayoko got a shot in. Somehow Liverpool managed to keep it out. 5 in the Liverpool wall. Alonso hits it well. Just had Mignolet scrambling across as well.
Some angle, isn't it? Where he approaches the ball.
He knows it's going to be a long game, this.
Salah to Gomez, who was able to squeeze it in from the byline. As with Bakayoko and now Morata. Alonso. Zappacosta's up from wing-back, looking to tee somebody up. Clavan there with an important clearance for Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool got pulled across the box, didn't he? You see that? All edging towards the ball, not getting back. Aches the space.
In from Hazard. And then Morata slightly off target with a header.
But that crowd was getting on their back straight away when he looked to play short.
Nice turn by Mo Salah, looking to bend one. Well, he did bend it, but didn't quite bend it far enough.
Yeah, he's Liverpool's danger man. Lovely turn from Cahill, as you can see. See what he had on his mind. Courtois across. Shows good strength, doesn't he? Good...
155 год. Створяем историю разом.
Сынок, сделай мамуле кофе.
Конечно, ма. Только сначала воды. Вода запускает обмен веществ и помогает проснуться.
Сынок, ты прям с утра у меня такой умный.
Вечером тоже.
Святой источник. Изменись к лучшему.
Более 10 тысяч наименований продукции. Мир инструмента. Компания. Сказать, что УЕФА очень много внимания уделяет вот как раз своему детскому фонду. Поэтому неудивительно, что перед розыгрышем вот как раз Суперкубка как раз сделают большой акцент именно на выступление детей.
Ladies and gentlemen, UEFA Foundation for Children is pleased to introduce today's musical talent from children from the Turkish radio and the television polyphonic children choir and the Turkish Sports Federation for the physically disabled will join together today in a special performance of Three Little Birds from Bob Marley. Please give them a warm round of applause and enjoy their performance.
Матч Liverpool Chelsea представляет Nissan, официальный спонсор UEFA Super Cup.
Ну что ж, действительно, don't worry, be happy. Что еще может быть лучше для настоящего футбольного болельщика, чем этим дождливым вечером, дождливым у нас в Беларуси, посмотреть классный европейский футбол. Да, действительно, предваряет большой еврокубковый сезон, по-настоящему большой, мы знаем, о чем идет речь. Именно поединок за Суперкубок. Частенько это бывало на недельки-две позже, но сейчас было принято решение, вот как раз последние сезоны, в середине августа разыгрывать сей трофей. Ливерпуль Челси, обладатель Кубка Европейских Чемпионов, победитель Лиги Чемпионов. Команда, которая стала лучшей во втором по рангу турнире. Челси. Ваши комментаторы, большой знаток футбола, именно нашим болельщикам лишний раз об этом напоминать не стоит. Это Петр Кочура и я, Павел Баранов.
Всем добрый вечер. Добро пожаловать в большой футбол. Это будет зрелище, однозначно.
Естественно, You Never Walk Alone, красная сторона трибун этой Бешикташ-арены напоминает о том, что легендарный Энфилд сделал немалое для прохождения Ливерпуля в прошлом сезоне по сетке, и мы это тоже прекрасно помним. Но, возможно, еще успеем и отдать какую-то, наверное, может быть, полминутки дани уважения, естественно, и этим песням. Ну, а пока, естественно, к составу. Ну, насколько громко, еще раз повторюсь, будет звучать сия композиция на Стамбульской арене. Ворота Ливерпуля защищает номер 13 Адриан, 3 Фабиньо, 4 Вирджил ван Дейк, 7 Джеймс Милнер, 10 Садио Мане, 11 Мохаммед Салах, 12 Джо Гомес, 14 Джордан Хендерсон, капитан, 15 Алекс Окслейд-Чемберлен, 26 Энди Робертсон, 32 Жаэль Матип. Сегодня у нас, кстати, историческое событие. Да-да-да, сегодня у нас мужчинами, ну, ничего такого, принято командуют женщины. Рефери Стефани Фрапар из Франции. Ее помощницы Амануэля Николази и Мишель О'Нил, Франция, Ирландия. Но остается нам только напомнить вам, что есть еще видеопомощник рефери. Это Климан Тюрпен. 4-й рефери, если что, Джунет Чакыр. Ну а это состав соперников Ливерпуля. Челси. Номер 1 Кепа Арисабалагас Кристенсен. 5-й Жоржиньо. 7-й Нголо Канте. 11-й Педро Родригес. 15-й Курт Зума. 17-й Матео Ковачич. 18-й Оливье Жиро. 22-й Кристиан Пулишич. 28-й Сесар Аспилькуэта. Капитанская повязка на его руке. И 33-й Эмерсон. Мохаммед Салах на ваших экранах. Что еще тут можно напомнить? Два момента, конечно, очень важных, о которых все знают. И надо сказать, что один из них все же вызывает какие-то определенные вопросы. Но, впрочем, это... по крайней мере, со стороны Челси особых претензий в свою очередь не вызывало. Это то, что программу первого тура АПЛ открывал Ливерпуль, закрывал, соответственно, Челси. Причем и матч-то разного было. Был довольно жестко бит Манчестер Юнайтед. Так что тут вроде бы как с одной стороны и в разном настроении вышли команды. И с другой стороны есть фактор, который очень сложно будет как-то сбрасывать со счетов. Это то, что у Ливерпуля было на 2 суток больше времени отдыха. Это весьма-весьма серьезный показатель. Но вот как раз насчет поражения и победы, это та самая палка о двух концах. С одной стороны, безусловно, это вроде бы говорит в пользу Ливерпуля. Большинство специалистов и букмекеров как бы делают ставку на победу в этом противостоянии на команду Юргена Клоппа. С другой, ну я думаю, что Петр Петрович со мной согласится, это в немалой степени мотиватор, если, возможно, даже раздражитель, то, что команда показывает, в принципе, неплохой футбол, вдруг так крупно влетела на Олд Траффорд, это может добавить огоньку футболистам Челси.
Да, в принципе, Челси по содержанию игры, они играли в хороший футбол, где-то даже переигрывали. Но Манчестер Юнайтед на хороших контратаках забивал голы, и, конечно же, было сложно уже отыгрывать 2-3 гола. Поэтому, наверное, все-таки Лэмпард где-то проанализировал и, наверное...
ضد الجوتسيف ضد كوين انجلترا. قلت جاء في 2001 2002 الى فريق تشيلسي قادما من ويست هام، واول لقب فاز به اللاعب لامبارد كان في 2005 في الليج كاب في فينال استاد الميلينيوم في كارديف ضد فريق ليفربول في الاكسترا تايم 3-2. اذا سجل وقتها كيزمان وسجل جيرار اسباني وسجل ديديل في دروغبا للبلوز تشيلسي. مباراة انتهت في الاكسترا تايم. قلت لي هل يكرر التاريخ نفسه؟ اول لقب كلاعب كان على ليفربول، فهل يحقق فرانك لامبارد اول الالقاب المهمة في عالم التدريب ضد ليفربول بعد 14 سنة من كارديف؟ تغير الاطار المكاني، تغير الكادر الزماني، ولكن الذهب هو الذهب يا لامبارد.
Mane, shot was struck against Christian. It's gone behind for a corner.
Yeah, appeals for a handball, but Christensen was really close. He was only a yard away. VAR will have a little look at it. I'm sure the arm does come up. He thought there was a case, Mane.
Van Dijk forward. Not done by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Then Milner. Salah. Matip.
Yeah, pulling on to Emerson there. He had a height advantage, won it easily. Mane not too far away. Mane not too far away from getting a nick on it. They got into a bit of a tangle, Chelsea at Old Trafford, trying to play from the back. Zuma looked uncomfortable with the ball at his feet. It is a new central defensive partnership between him and Christensen. We hear it's going to be him and Rudiger for the longer term. We'll wait and see how that one pans out.
Antonio Rudiger, one of those on the bench this evening for Chelsea after injury. Fabinho. David Luiz, having joined your former club, Arsenal, during the summer months. Gary Cahill, another who's left Chelsea. An area where Chelsea at the moment are short of options.
Yeah, surprise. A knockdown price.
Henderson again available. Looking for Salah. Henderson has picked out Salah. Mane on the move. Milner. Nicked away by contact.
They look so much better, more secure, don't they, with Conte in the team.
And also in the central midfield role, which he wasn't used in perhaps as much as he would have liked last season by Maurizio Sarri.
Well, as things stand down there, Jorginho's still in the middle. Conte on the right-hand side, but I'm sure it'll be different instructions he's getting this season as opposed to last under Sarri.
.25 behind Liverpool in second place. Milner. Liverpool beaten in the Community Shield in England after
Roman across that front line, Salah. Quite often it's Mane through the middle.
in by Salah. Van Dijk. Fabinho.
Easy one that for...
Major plus for Liverpool this evening to have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back in their starting 11. Salah. Terrific run by Salah. Zuma got in the way.
Yeah, Paul ball out by Aretha Balaga, that trying to pick out Emerson.
Chelsea neat and precise. Emerson on his way. Jorginho. Conte. Conte goes on.
You get the feeling he quite enjoys it when he does get the chance to go forward. N'Golo Conte.
It's been a lively opening 10 minutes in Istanbul. Giroud picking the ball up unexpectedly. And then finding Pedro. Adrian scrambling across his goal.
Yeah, certainly didn't catch it, Pedro. Maybe just came off his toe. But they've had some good moments, Chelsea.
Almost nonchalantly by Van Dijk.
He makes everything look easy.
Chelsea unable to spend during the summer months. Liverpool deciding not to spend a great deal, feeling that they've done their best business in the last two transfer windows. On by Mane.
Great to see Oxlade-Chamberlain back in Liverpool colours, just trying to get himself involved in this game, but he was playing so well before he got injured. A real blow to him and the team.
Oxlade-Chamberlain suffering a serious knee injury, knee ligaments. Henderson helped away by Christensen, and important for Chelsea that he got that ahead of Sadio Mane.
Yeah, it certainly was. Trying to pick out Mane at the far position. Christensen.
By Milner.
Yeah, I think he got his head on it, Mane, but probably saw it really late, maybe not expecting it to come as far as it did.
Here's that early attempt from Pedro. Was amongst the goals for Chelsea in the Europa League last season. 5 in all, but comprehensively outscored by Olivier Giroud. We've got 11 and just 2 in the Premier League.
He's a hard man to pin down. They do well on that occasion, though. It's going to be fascinating. You mentioned the Chelsea strikers who Frank Lampard's going to go with. He opted for Tammy Abraham at Old Trafford.
Giroud again the target. Jorginho. Christensen only getting himself in a muddle last season. Another had to wait patiently for his chance at Chelsea, a couple of seasons out to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the German Bundesliga. Onus now on Chelsea to make the most of their academy graduates. Neil Callum Hudson-Odoi at the moment, the 18-year-old who was ruled out by an Achilles problem, and one of a previous age group, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who missed out on the Europa League final at the end of last season with an Achilles problem because he was injured when Chelsea played an additional game in the United States, a charity fixture.
Yeah, that would have been hard to take for him, for the club, just finding his feet.
Salah found by Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's Mohamed Salah. Fine stop by Aretha Balaga.
What a lovely pass by Oxlade-Chamberlain, beautifully weighted.
Liverpool really asserting themselves. Henderson providing the width and delivering the cross. Christensen again getting the ball away from Mane. Chelsea look to counter quickly. Here's Giroud. Best opening that Chelsea have had so far.
Yeah. I mean, on the counter-attack in these situations, Olivier Giroud isn't really the first man that you'd go to due to his lack of pace, but on his left foot he was always going to take that on.
One back by Jorginho. Pulisic. Won the Super Cup. Yeah, they won the Champions League in 2005. Needed extra time against CSKA Moscow in Monaco.
He's had a few words with the ref, Jorginho. I'm feeling he's getting a fair crack of the whip, perhaps, with his challenges.
Stephanie Frappart from France in charge. First woman to take charge of a UEFA men's game. Officiated in Ligue 1 in France back in the spring. She also took charge of the final of the FIFA Women's World Cup. The United States defeating the Netherlands.
Well, it's a big night for her, isn't it? She's bound to be a little nervous at the start, but once the match gets going, you just get into it as the players do.
Matip. Kovacic. Kovacic. Jorginho. Giroud.
He's normally very good at pulling those down, actually, but that one was a little too difficult. He's got his work cut out. Giroud tonight against Van Dijk particularly.
Tammy Abraham given the nod for the Premier League game at Old Trafford against Manchester United on Sunday. The 21-year-old actually made his Chelsea debut against Liverpool just over 3 years ago for Gus Hiddink, but subsequently loaned out to Swansea and Aston Villa, promoted from the Championship with Aston Villa at the end of last season.
Well, he scored an awful lot of goals, and I think he
England debut at the back end of last year. Pedro. Terrific defending by Robertson.
It was. Pedro did have the march on him for a second, but the full-back uses his pace, his strength to get goal side.
Andy Robertson, the Scottish international, deemed too small for Celtic when he was a teenager. Celtic put out of the Champions League in the qualifying rounds yesterday evening by Cluj of Romania. And they're coached by Dan Petrescu, once of Chelsea.
Yeah, great play by Robertson. What a signing he's proved to be.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Pulisic. Firm challenge by Matip. Had he been found then, Pedro was unmarked. Kovacic. Now Pulisic. Pedro again. Wrong-footed Matip. It's Pedro. And he's crushed that against the woodwork.
He's causing all sorts of problems with his movement, with his industry, and with his intelligence, Pedro. Such a clever competitor. And he's really caught this one. They hit the woodwork a couple of times at Old Trafford. They've done so again. He's got a game on his hands, Jurgen Klopp here. This is Chelsea side that's looking more compact, more purposeful.
Azpilicueta. Pedro. Emerson. Giroud!
Worth a go? Why not? It's a good spell, this, for Chelsea. Asking one or two questions, forcing Liverpool onto the back foot. Just came off his questions, forcing Liverpool onto the back foot. Just came off his shin, that one, though.
Giroud, top scorer in the Europa League, ahead of Frankfurt's Real Madrid-bound Luka Jovic. Goals, including a hat-trick. And a 5-0 thumping of Dinamo Kiev, a perfect hat-trick as well. Right foot, left foot, header. You would have approved of that, wouldn't you?
Most definitely. Approve of any goal.
Robertson. Azpilicueta. Giroud offside.
Yeah, he looks a good yard off. It's interesting though, N'Golo Conte, we all thought that he would play a different role under Frank Lampard, but it's very similar to the one that he was operating in last season. Whether that continues in the Premier League, we'll wait and see, but it's that the midfield three.
Chelsea started promisingly at Old Trafford. The key really is to keep it going.
End of it, and you've conceded 4 on the opening day.
Careless by Matip. Conte. Pedro. Pulisic.
It's not the worst ball in the world, is it? no chances there, Kurt Zouma. He's that sort of defender.
Milner with a corner kick. Mane! It was a free header for him.
Yeah. Chelsea will be asking questions. How is that possible? Again, he's not really caught it, and it's cannon off Matip. Took the weight off it. It's a good chance, though. Mane.
With Balaga almost getting in a muddle. Sadio Mane, who shared the golden boot in the Premier League with Mohamed Salah and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Arsenal. His best ever scoring season. Before coming in the Champions League.
Chelsea will be pleased with his first half an hour, the way things have panned out. They've settled into their shape. Made it difficult for Liverpool.
Frank Lampard maintaining yesterday that he was only going to tweak his Chelsea lineup. Acutely aware that his team played on Sunday and Liverpool had played on Friday and at home on Friday evening. Terrific work by Conte. Matip sweeping the ball from Giroud.
Again, it's Conte and Pedro on that right hand side. Milner having a really tough task to get back and get his foot in.
Pulisic. Jorginho. Kovacic. Matip stands firm.
Yeah, one of those defenders always get away with them, and he's played the man, not the ball there.
Kovacic. Pedro. Kovacic again. Splendid stop by Adrian. Liverpool goalkeeper getting out quickly.
Adrian knew that he had to get a solid connection on the ball.
Adrian, who was training with a local team, a sixth-tier team in Spain after he left West Ham at the end of last season. Conte. Terrific work by Gomez. Pulisic had drifted in off the wing. Seems to be the way with goalkeepers, doesn't it? Gloves will travel. Adrian, having left West Ham, getting his chance at Liverpool after Simon Mignolet was allowed to return to Belgium to join Club Brugge, who made progress in the Champions League last night. Pedro. Emerson. Azpilicueta. Conte. Emerson. Emerson. He was given far too much room by Henderson.
And what a good ball by Conte to pick him out. Been a busy first half for Adrian. Pedro's been excellent in his first half. But this was the challenge by the keeper. You see it so often. The attacker gets his boot there first, nicks it past, and invariably a penalty.
Van Mane back to help out. Liverpool showing that they can mix it now and again. Adrian's accuracy with the clearance.
Yeah.
It's not what Jurgen Klopp would have wanted.
You see Alisson do that so often last season.
Yeah, with Alisson out and Adrian in, there's a chance on the bench for Andy Lonergan, a 35-year-old who's been given a one-year deal now by Liverpool. Luis Karius, who had a terrible night in the Champions League final, which Liverpool lost in Kiev against Real Madrid, is in Istanbul at the moment. He's with the Besiktas on loan. This is his home stadium.
Yeah, he's up on the billboards in the town.
Pulisic. Now Giroud. Giroud! Chelsea take the lead. And they take the lead in the Super Cup through the striker who made the Europa League his own last season. Adrian beaten, Chelsea in front.
Well, the signs were there, weren't they? Chelsea were turning the screw. No surprise once again. N'Golo Kante's been involved. Him and Pedro, they just haven't been able to handle that pair. But for Pulisic, he'll be delighted with the assist, because it was a lovely pick out to his centre forward. Kante once again driving forward. His head, Pulisic, and he does stay on side, and that is an assured finish from the Frenchman on his favoured left side. Got time to glance up, pick his spot. It's no more than Chelsea deserve that.
Liverpool 0, Chelsea 1. Olivier Giroud making the breakthrough. Giroud very much on the periphery in the Premier League last season under Maurizio Sarri. Started only once during the second half of the season. And now he has given them the breakthrough against Liverpool in the Super Cup. And they're looking for a second goal. Doubtless when he went in, Frank Lampard had a fresh sheet of paper to look at, to try and work out what his best formation would be, who his best personnel would be. All the talk about giving youth a chance during the summer months, but this he felt was a night when he needed experience.
Liverpool have got to sort out that midfield area because they're being completely overrun.
Giroud now flattened by Van Dijk, who was merely standing his ground.
And that's the life of a centre forward. But he's pulled away, Giroud, superbly into space.
As Frank Lampard is saying, keep it going. Chelsea supporters have finally found their voices. Modest following from London, but there's a great affinity in Turkey, and particularly in Istanbul, for Liverpool. And although the club took a 5,000 seat allocation, the rest of the tickets were distributed locally, and the majority in the Besiktas Park are wearing red. Milner. One back by Pedro. Inventive going forward and busy dropping back.
I've rarely seen that Liverpool midfield quite so ineffective. Fabinho, Milner, Henderson really struggling with Chelsea's movement.
Pulisic in behind Gomez. Giroud again on the move. Pulisic!
I've rarely seen that Liverpool midfield quite so ineffective. Fabinho, Milner, Henderson really struggling with Chelsea's movement.
Pulisic in behind Gomez. Giroud again on the move. Pulisic! Pulisic in behind Gomez. Giroud again on the move. Pulisic! Now still checking the offside leading up to Pulisic's goal.
It stayed on. Timed his run perfectly. No, I beg your pardon. No, they did disallow it, didn't they? They took the free kick.
With frustration for Chelsea. Michelle O'Neill is the assistant on the far side. She was part of the refereeing team which took charge of the Women's World Cup final. It's the same team which has been kept together for the Super Cup. Contact. Pulisic. Jorginho.
Chelsea just want to see themselves through to half-time. There's another chance here.
Wow, by Jorginho. And he shows his irritation because he was still tying his bootlace even as that corner was being delivered. Well, plenty for him to ponder at half-time, whether he should make changes.
It's over on that right-hand side of midfield. Conte linking up with Pedro. Liverpool have just been at 6s and 7s in trying to deal with it.
Emerson. Azpilicueta. Emerson away from Gomez. Pulisic couldn't get away from Matip.
It's been a really competitive opening half. Chelsea have worked hard to close down these Liverpool players that are normally so good at doing it to the opposition.
Salah, found by Van Dijk. Salah again. Henderson. Milner. Mane on the move. Just about kept in play by Robertson.
Lovely ball on the run from James Milner. That.
Salah. Switch from right to left. On for a goal kick.
Robertson's been on the defensive, haven't had too many chances to do what he does so well.
Sarri dispatched that second-minute penalty in the Champions League final against Tottenham Hotspur. Hasn't had much time off during the summer months. Egypt reaching the round of 16 in the African Cup of Nations. Adrian will get there ahead of Pedro. Minimum of 60 seconds at the end of the first half. It's been an enjoyable first half. Just nudged on Matip, who anticipated the challenge.
It's certainly been enjoyable for the Chelsea fans and those players. Liverpool have not been allowed to get into the stride. Looks like Chamberlain over there has struggled really to see too much of the ball.
So far, so good for Chelsea in the UEFA Super Cup of 2019. Liverpool with plenty of early pressure, but Pedro has caught the eye, and it is Liverpool with plenty of early pressure.
Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports 11.
Tonight, we're taking game night up a notch.
Oh boy. Susan, you take Jerry to be your husband.
What's the difference between Episcopalian and Lutheran?
Episcopalians don't eat fish.
You may kiss the bride.
I love you.
Bro, it's gonna be okay. You're right, Clarence. I want you to meet Keanu. No. Oh my God, that's the cutest guy I've ever seen in my life.
Funny Fridays. Friday on beIN Movies Premiere.
The NFL. Arizona Cardinals versus Oakland Raiders. This Friday live and exclusive on beIN Sport 13 HD.
The Giants are back. Don't miss out on our mega promotion. Subscribe to the sports package and get a free upgrade to premium.
That was the scene in North London today at Lord's, where England and the Australians were due to start the second test match. It was washed out, play abandoned at 4 in the afternoon London time. They will have another go tomorrow. We've got it live here on beIN Sports. Well, in those conditions, good luck with it. Right, we'll get round to the second goal.
Going back to that tomorrow.
Because it's been a lively, I promise you, it's been a lively debate here, and I am bemused by what we've just seen. But on the plus side, Jan, Chelsea played really well, haven't they?
Absolutely, they were very good, very dominant. They just the Liverpool started better, but after 10 minutes, Chelsea started to got the measures, start to pass. I thought the midfielders were excellent. The midfielder with the wingers, they were really, really good. They took control of the ball, and they didn't let Liverpool get into the game.
I think, Jan, I think that the midfield. I think that the midfield trio, Kovacic, Jorginho and Kante, have been magnificent, dominant. After 10 minutes, took control of the game. Pulisic and Pedro coming from the wide areas. When they come in field, Liverpool don't seem to have an answer for them. I've never seen Liverpool, unable to stop a team coming towards them. And I just think that I've been so impressed with how they've gone about their work tonight. The passing's been crisp and sharp, and it's amazing, isn't it? Because all the stick that Gianfranco and Sarri got last year for how they were playing the midfield, Frank's gone back to that exact same midfield tonight, exact same system tonight, and it's been terrific. Apart from 10 minutes at the beginning, Jan's right, well, Liverpool started better. I think they've been terrific, Chelsea, and Liverpool have found it really difficult to cope with.
Explain to me why the second goal was ruled out.
Right. They've been terrific, Chelsea, and Liverpool have found it really difficult to cope with.
Explain to me why the second goal was ruled out.
Right. I was right. What's happened here with the second goal? It was disallowed. As they build it up, and Pulisic down near the camera makes a little jink, and he makes it, and he's gone. Now, the lines person on the far side is unsure about whether it was offside or not. But as soon as that ball hits the net,
why does she become sure when it hits the net?
Well, I think, and this is where I think this is a nonsense, this VAR still, right? Because what would have happened here if Pulisic had screwed it wide?
Is he definitely off? Look in the middle.
Yeah, I can see Virgil van Dijk and him. I mean, looking at the lines on the pitch, he's probably about.
It is the same all day.
But you see, the trouble is, Jan, what we're looking at here, we're looking at a foot on the ground.
It's the foot.
And I know, but what Virgil van Dijk's body is angled towards his own goal. So if they took it perfect in line, his shoulder, where Raheem Sterling was off.
Watch top of the screen. No flag.
There's no flag. Watch this, and you'll see what I mean.
Well, but I think the referee checked it after with the VAR because he was on his phone.
You can't check it that quickly.
But Andy,
you have to calibrate lines, and you have to put stuff on it. You can't. It's not something that you can do in 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
You said she was unsure.
Yes, that's why the flag stays down.
So how does she make her mind up then that she's now correct?
100% sure.
When the ball hits the net?
Because the ball hit the net.
So she's guessed.
I don't know. Well, listen, it might. You see the pictures there, and as I say,
why run all that? See, I'm totally confused by this. Why run all that way? Wait until the ball hits the net. If he'd gone through then and squares a ball for say
get the so-called, what we're told, the definitive. Now, maybe that's her checking with VAR because she's put her finger, but I don't believe VAR could have calibrated lines and everything on an angle that's not directly in line with the play as quickly as that.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Because she blew her whistle right after it hit the net because the linesman's flag went up, blew her whistle, did that, they've probably went, looked at the angle we've just seen and went, yeah, offside. But you see, the supporters of VAR will say, see, it worked perfectly. Well, no, it didn't.
Well, I don't know it did
Confusion.
because I'd like to see a line on that and see where Van Dijk's body was. Isn't it the reason that Sterling's goal was disallowed is his armpit was a millimetre beyond the last defender.
And as Virgil van Dijk was leaning towards his own goal, although his feet might have been, his shoulder might not have been. So we don't know that, and that's allegedly why we've got VAR. You see, it's a bit like Sterling's. Do you want goals that close disallowed?
No. I pay good money to watch entertainment. Football's entertainment, and the object of the exercise is to score goals.
It's a tough one, but I think it's just a confusion.
But you can't guess, can you?
Oh no, you can't. Well, you shouldn't be guessing if you've got VAR. Put it that way. That's why it's there. It's supposed to be a backup, an aid.
Chelsea lead at half-time by 1-0. Maybe there's a strong argument it should have been 2-0, but we don't know. That's the one that separates them right now. And so far, really good night for Chelsea. So far.
Liga. Friday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports 6. Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. Sunday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it.
See if it's reacting to my lights. I'm going to turn them off.
Today we are cancelling the apocalypse! Science Fiction Night. Every Saturday evening on beIN Movies Action.
La Liga. Friday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. Sunday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports.
Catch up on all the latest episodes from The Late Late Show on beIN On Demand. Enjoy a world of entertainment.
For more information, go to bein.net/on-demand. /on-demand.
to you by Hotels.com, UEFA Super Cup sponsor.
On or off, Andy?
Well, I don't know where the ball is because I can't see. He's not in shot, and I'm assuming that it's been frozen at the appropriate place. It's as close as we thought it was. Probably just, what did I say, 6 inches off? If even that, foot at most.
The lines person on the far side has got this wrong. I've just checked. Double quick. 1-0 Chelsea. Alan Smith, Tony Jones.
Second half underway in Istanbul, and Liverpool have made a change. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, given the nod from the start this evening by Jurgen Klopp, has been withdrawn to be replaced by Roberto Firmino. Firmino's outstanding for Liverpool in the Champions League a couple of years ago, 11 goals for them along with Mohamed Salah. The head coach deciding that change was necessary, Alan Smith, given that Liverpool very much second best in the opening half.
Yeah, they were. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, it was a bit of a struggle for him, and they will be the Liverpool that we've become familiar with over the last year or so. We've got to give great credit to Chelsea for that. Their work without the ball. The word compact or lack of it was used a lot after losing to United at the weekend, but it's not been a problem here tonight.
It did go wrong for Chelsea in the second half at Old Trafford. Here they lead through a goal after 36 minutes, scored by Olivier Giroud. They could have had others. Christian Pulisic ruled to be offside after beating Adrian, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Did well to keep out Kovacic when set on his way by Pedro, thumped an attempt against the woodwork. Liverpool goalkeeper did well to keep out Kovacic when set on his way by Pedro, thumped an attempt against the woodwork. And that was a thumping challenge on the Liverpool skipper Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, it was Emerson actually that steamed in there. It's not a great challenge from the left back.
Robertson. Fabinho. Salah. Fabinho. Here's Mane. Roberto Firmino has made a big difference. If only for his nuisance value in there. Aretha Balaga perhaps caught in two minds. But Mane levels.
Yeah, not the tidiest goal you'll ever see, but it's a clever little dink by Fabinho. He was level, he was onside, and that's a lovely flick to his accomplice by Firmino. What an introduction. The simplest to finishes, second time of asking.
The ball wasn't in Aritha Balaga's hands. Despairing dive by the Chelsea goalkeeper. The VAR team led by Clement Turpin, but it stands and it's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1. Just the response that Jurgen Klopp would have been looking for, having made that substitution. And the mood inside the Besiktas park has changed immediately.
Yeah, just what Chelsea didn't want or need. It's the old cliche, keep them quiet next 10 or 15. We're in a good position, we've been the better side. Don't give them any encouragement.
Mane again. Robertson. Now playing with some verve. Fabinho! Well, he doesn't get many.
Well, he certainly caught this one, the midfielder. Only if Aritha Balaga would have got across. No, he wouldn't.
By Jorginho. Emerson. And he drilled across straight into his own teammate.
Feeling for the corner. The teammates, though, were a little slow to join him. He looked up and he didn't have too much on. Emerson did ever so well to get to the byline. Giroud's there, but he's tightly marked.
Emerson, who scored at Anfield last season in the third round of the EFL Cup, the League Cup in England. It was a game which Chelsea won 2-1. A night when Eden Hazard again excelled and scored a magnificent goal. Liverpool won the Premier League encounter 2-1. It was 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool winning at Anfield with 2 in 2 minutes at the start of the second half. Aritha Balaga got lucky because Henderson's shot had struck a teammate and was almost spinning out of his reach.
Yeah, it's a totally different game, isn't it now? This side of the break. And that's what goals do to contests. Good job he's a tall lad, Aritha Balaga, with long arms.
The two most expensive goalkeepers in the world on show had Alisson not picked up that calf injury on Friday evening. Alisson signing for Liverpool from Roma, which was for then a world record €73 million, a record that was broken less than 3 weeks later when Aritha Balaga joined Chelsea from Athletic Bilbao.
Chelsea just got to get playing again, try and find that rhythm that they attained in the first half. Not so easy to get hold of the ball now, though.
Pedro. On by Henderson. Conte. Here is Henderson. Just tried to tee up Firmino then.
Yeah, who was in a lot of space on the edge of the box. They broke on Chelsea really quickly there.
Firmino. Salah. He couldn't return the compliment. Suspicion of offside.
Yeah, it's Chelsea's turn now to be stretched, to look ragged at the back. All of a sudden, gaps are opening up, possibilities are opening up for Liverpool. Robertson just got in the path of
Chelsea from Basel nearly 6 years ago now, having scored against them. Scored against them in 2 fixtures in that season's UEFA Champions League group stage. Basel won both. Henderson. Zimmer, another of those who's had to wait patiently for his chance at Chelsea. Loaned out to both Everton and to Stoke City. Emerson. Giroud wants it in the middle. Chelsea get the corner. Adrian with plenty of company. Pedro and Giroud almost on the goalkeeper's toes. And Adrian untroubled. Liverpool untroubled.
Yeah, waste that one for Chelsea. That's a poor pass by Matip.
Pedro. Emerson. Christensen. Chested on by Giroud.
Hands up.
It wasn't me, said Giroud.
Been a good debut from Pulisic though, hasn't it? With the assist, he could have had a goal himself. He's been lively, inventive.
Azpilicueta holding off Mane and finding Pedro. Impressive work by the Chelsea skipper. Pedro riding the challenge of Milner. Jorginho. Giroud behind Van Dijk, who yet again got back to him. Didn't make any difference anyway.
No, they wait for the move to play out before. Putting the flag up. I think he would have known himself, wouldn't he? Olivier Giroud, that he was off.
Back by Milner. And then one back for Chelsea by Giroud, who'd been dispossessed. Pedro almost getting in behind Van Dijk, who as always is there to mop up for Liverpool.
Yeah, he knew exactly where Pedro was. Just got a great ability to get in that channel, to block the through ball. But Chelsea responded to that early goal in this second half. Wasn't the best of passes, to be honest, by Pulisic.
Van Dijk, who seldom puts a foot wrong. Again, Adrian has plenty of company inside the Liverpool 6-yard area. Pulisic to deliver. Missed by Zuma. Jorginho. Now Milner. Robertson. coming on in place of Milner.
Yeah, Milner's had to do a lot of work in that first half, particularly he had the runaround. It was better in the second. I'm sure they had words in that half-time dressing room about it, about the way Conte and Pedro were running the show on that side.
Giroud. Azpilicueta. Gomez was able to make the block.
Yeah, caught it well. Pulisic, it seemed. Nice firm side foot on it.
Joe Gomez has had such a difficult time with injury, who featured off the bench as a late substitute against Tottenham in the Champions League final. Trent Alexander-Arnold being rested tonight. In by Pulisic. Chelsea had an uncomfortable spell at the start of the second half when Mane was able to claim Liverpool's equalising goal, but they've settled down again now. Been on loan at Chelsea during the second half of last season.
Yeah, you can see why they did sign him, given that they couldn't make any other transfers coming in, but I think there's more to come from him. It was a fairly steady, if unspectacular, season for Kovacic.
Twice an unused substitute for Real Madrid in Champions League finals, but got his hands on a Europa League winners' medal at the end of last season. Gomez somewhat unfortunate and now hopelessly out of position. Excellent recovery by Joe Gomez.
Packed to the knee.
And Liverpool will hope that he's fit and available for them this coming weekend, a Premier League fixture at Southampton. Well, Mane had no right to test.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get there. Mane. It's a good even contest now, though. Difficult to pick a winner as things stand.
Midway point in the second half. If it stays this way, we do go to 30 minutes extra time, and who knows beyond that, maybe a penalty shootout.
Neither team, in all fairness, will want that extra 30 minutes at the start of a long and arduous season.
Liverpool at Southampton this weekend. Chelsea at home to Leicester. Brendan Rodgers, their head coach, who was with Chelsea early in his coaching career and of course had a spell in charge of Liverpool. Henderson. Gomez. Matip. On again by Van Dijk. Whipped in by Robertson. Usually dealt with by Christensen.
Just a judging the ball came off. Robertson there. Jurgen Klopp didn't think so.
Chelsea protecting a long unbeaten record in Europe. Unbeaten on the way to winning the Europa League at the end of last season. The last European defeat was in the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League when they were beaten by Barcelona in the days of Antonio Conte as head coach. Pulisic offside and a long way offside.
You said it earlier though, Tony, they've done well, Chelsea, to claw their way back into this after the worst of starts to the second half.
Chelsea punished unforgivingly by Manchester United at the weekend. Had the chances, didn't take them. And then were to lose 4-0. Robertson.
There's only Mane in the box really there for Robertson.
Azpilicueta, who's been around long enough to have been a teammate of Frank Lampard in his time as a player at Chelsea. Double change imminent for Chelsea now. Mason Mount is coming on along with Tammy Abraham, two of the graduates of the Chelsea Academy who Frank Lampard says will get their chance this season. Mason Mount, who played for him at Derby County in the second tier, the Championship last season. Pedro. Now Emerson. Kovacic. Shot from Pulisic was hit against Van Dijk. Conte. Salah.
Bad, is it?
Picked out by Van Dijk. It was a magnificent through ball.
Well, Zuma did well, but that pass, that glorious ball by Van Dijk, deserved better. And Mo Salah knows it.
So the goal scorer makes way. Olivier Giroud comes off to be replaced by Tammy Abraham. Experience from the start, but now youth given its chance. And along with Giroud, Christian Pulisic makes way to accommodate Mason Mount.
Oh, he's done enough, Pulisic, to get on the right side of the Chelsea fans. Maybe a plus point for them, I think, this season in the absence of Hazard. He did some good things at Old Trafford though, Mason Mount. He's a talent.
Chelsea with everybody back as they defend this Liverpool corner. They didn't defend it particularly well. Salah! And Van Dijk! It's at the underside of the bar and come out. Fantastic recovery by Aretha Balaga. Liverpool thought that they got their noses in front there.
Yeah, I think Van Dijk did as well. That's a magnificent stop. And he gets a lot of pleasure out of this with the Balaga, and why shouldn't he? Upon his feet so quickly.
Fantastic stop by the Chelsea goalkeeper. Mane. Henderson. Easy enough this time for Aretha Balaga, and everybody can just take stock and catch their breath.
Shades of Jim Montgomery in the FA Cup final, the Sunderland keeper for the older viewers watching.
1973, Jimmy Montgomery for Sunderland in the second tier in England, who defied all the odds to beat Leeds United, who were the team of the time in England in an FA Cup final, memorable FA Cup final at the old Wembley.
He got surprised by the speed in which Mane got across there. He wouldn't be the first. It's what you work at on the training ground as goalkeepers, making one save, getting up, making the other. You'll enjoy watching this one back.
Outstanding stop. Liverpool free kick. Aretha Balaga not short of confidence, as he showed last season. A very public misunderstanding, as he described it, with Maurizio Sarri when he allegedly refused to come out before the shootout in the EFL, the League Cup final in England. He's left on the bench for Chelsea's next game, still only 24, but supremely confident and supremely agile, as he showed to keep out Van Dijk. Magic. Nonsense interception by Zuma. Mane. Now Salah. Back with Mane. Gomez. Henderson. Eased away by Azpilicueta. Abraham. Contact. Kovacic. And the other substitute, Mason Mount, who took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, slightly different role for Mason Mount to the one he had at the weekend at Manchester United on that left-hand side.
Just 20, Mason Mount. Another one who's been loaned out on a couple of occasions by Chelsea. Not only to Derby County last season, but also before that with Vitesse Arnhem.
That's a big call. Azpilicueta getting booked for his troubles as well. Having a go at the ref. He knows it's a dangerous position, this one.
Yellow card for the Chelsea captain. Jorginho adding his voice to the debate.
Yeah, just a little shove in the back, the kind that quite often you might get away with, but you can see where the ref is. She had a perfect view of it. I think the yellow card is for dissent.
Yellow cards won't be carried over into the UEFA Champions League. If anybody collects a red card, it will, however, be carried over to match day 1 of the Champions League. Plenty of alternatives here for Liverpool. Law change means that if Liverpool want to add to that Chelsea defensive wall, they have to be a metre away from those in blue.
Yeah, a lot of teams so far have done this, constructed their own wall just in front.
Salah, the wall did its job.
Yeah, Tammy Abraham.
Given away by Salah. Conte. Mason Mount. And Abraham has joined Pedro in the race forward. Emerson available. Jorginho. Chelsea forced backwards and sideways to come forward again with Azpilicueta. Pedro. Conte. Pedro! Yet again, Van Dijk gets in the way.
Brilliant. Fantastic work.
Liverpool paying a world record fee for a defender when they signed him. Abraham. Hacked away by Gomez. Pedro. Zuma. Liverpool with the bulk of the possession in the first half. At least they were outrun by Chelsea. It has been such an even contest.
It has. It's been a good one. Played at a really quick pace. They'll be feeling it out there, those players now.
Jorginho. Mason Mount. Offside. It's a brilliant finish, and not for the first time this evening. Chelsea are frustrated after getting the ball in the net.
Well, it always is, isn't it, when the flag doesn't go up straight away, because that's what they've been instructed to do, the assistants, let the move play out. But just like Pulisic, I mean, that's a great finish by Mount.
Tightest of tight calls. Firmino. Henderson. Pedro doing well under pressure. Chelsea ready to make a third and final change. It's a change in defence as well, with Fikayo Tomori coming on in place of Andreas Christensen.
Number 29,
better game last season, could he? Christensen under Sarri.
Another of those who was at Derby County last season with Frank Lampard and Mason Mount. Card produced again.
Which is always going to happen when you get caught wrong side like that. And you tug your man back.
Both the skippers seeing yellow. Azpilicueta and now Henderson. In by Mason Mount. He's looking for Azpilicueta.
Yeah,
Mane stood his ground.
Flag went up, but Mane did do well. He stayed switched on. He didn't lose concentration, which can easily happen with a forward-thinking player.
Abraham. Mourinho suggesting that he pulled out of the challenge. Abraham thought otherwise. Salah. Henderson ahead of him, joined by Mane. Here's Mane!
It almost looked like a cutback towards Wijnaldum. He would have been offside, I think, if he'd have stuck it in the net. VAR would have ruled it out. I think he was going for goal.
Nudged in the back, and eager to get the ball moving again for Chelsea. Pedro's such an influence for Chelsea in the first half, as was N'Golo Conte. Giroud and Pulisic both playing their part. Pulisic and Giroud now substituted. Emerson suggesting that was out off Gomez. It will be a goal kick, however. Frank Lampard close to the action. Maybe too close. And Robertson simply too hasty.
There's a nice edge to this game. Nobody's holding back.
Lampard twice on the losing side in the Super Cup. His assistant, Jody Morris, has a winner's medal. A youngster on the Chelsea books way back in 1998 when he needed extra time to beat Real Madrid. This Poyet, the goal scorer. Mason Mount. Emerson. Inside the last 2 minutes in Istanbul. Azpilicueta. Out by Van Dijk. Mason Mount. Extra time looming. Unless contact. Chelsea will settle for a corner at this late stage.
Just looking for a good delivery now. Wasted a couple in this match.
Abram and Tamore almost on the penalty spot. There's a flying header from Zuma.
He's a tough man to stop when he gets a run at it. They deploy a zonal system, Liverpool, so sometimes it's hard to compete against somebody with a running jump like this. Gomez with the far stick, maybe just putting his man off.
It's actually Zuma's sixth season with Chelsea, but it's a Chelsea career which has been disrupted by injury, as well as the 2 seasons he's been out on loan. Missed the European Championship with France back in 2016 after he picked up a knee injury before the tournament. Two additional minutes minimum. Can we find a winner in normal time? Are we heading towards extra time? And the possibility of a penalty shootout. Kept alive by Pedro. Salah. Just had time to take a look over his shoulder and see that Kovacic was breathing down his neck.
He'll be pleased with this after that defeat. A really accomplished performance by his team.
With a searching pass from Van Dijk. Gomez. Gomez has lost his boot. And Liverpool will get the free kick. Stephanie Frappart prepared to take her time before awarding Liverpool the free kick. The time in normal time is almost up. Just enough time for Liverpool to take this free kick. Can they make it count? In by Henderson. Hacked on by Robertson. Mane, and then Salah drives wide, and that was Liverpool's big chance, and it came in the very last seconds. It's been an enthralling contest. Chelsea having the better of the first half. Pedro thumping the woodwork. Pulisic having an attempt disallowed. Giroud putting Chelsea in front, but Liverpool rallying after bringing on Roberto Firmino at half-time, equalising through Sadio Mane, and then denied a winning goal for Virgil van Dijk by the acrobatics of the Chelsea goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga. We go to extra time at the end of the second half in the UEFA Super Cup of 2019. It's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1.
So 30 minutes to come, and if they can't sort it out in that 30 minutes, then we will go to penalties. Of course, you won't miss any of it with us here on beIN Sports.
The English Premier League. Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports channels.
trophy, Liverpool, but I would have thought this is the last thing that they would have wanted. 30 minutes of extra time at this stage in the season, and so many more games for them to come this year than anybody else. They're, of course, in Qatar. When is it? November, December? For the World Club Championship.
Yeah.
So 30 more minutes now.
I think it's, I mean, I don't know what FIFA, is it FIFA, UEFA? I don't know what UEFA are thinking, Richard. I mean, at this time of the season, the last thing these players now need is another 30 minutes of football when they're a little bit fatigued, a little bit tired. Strains you can easily get when your muscles get a little tired this early in the season. And why they don't do what the Community Shield did and go straight to penalties after 90 minutes, I just don't know. No idea.
Yeah, probably we could have done without. But it's been a good game.
Yes.
Even the second half, I think when Firmino came on the pitch, it completely changed the dynamic of the game. Liverpool became straight away more efficient, more dangerous. They scored straight away. They had a couple of chances. Then Chelsea got back better again, and they had a couple of chances too. So, but it's an open game right now.
Just looking at the
that Chelsea, every time he's got the control of the ball, they become very dangerous. They
played well at different times.
That's good to see as well, isn't it? Remember, if we can't sort it out in the next 30 minutes, then it will go to a penalty shootout. In the meantime, let's rejoin Alan Smith and Tony Jones.
The start of the first period of extra time. 2 15-minute periods of extra time. Liverpool have made a switch at the start of this first additional 15 minutes. Trent Alexander-Arnold has come on in place of Andy Robertson. It means that they've changed things a little bit at the back. Alexander-Arnold will drop in at right back and Joe Gomez will switch to left back. Champions League, the first leg back in May. Lower leg fracture in the Premier League against Burnley in December of last year. Ankle operation, which meant that he was forced to miss the World Cup with England back in 2018. Still finding his feet. Jorginho. Here is Joe Gomez. Salah. Ronaldo. Gomez. The shot was deflected.
Well, it's opened up for him when he cut inside. Why not have a crack from there? Well, keeping a high line there, Liverpool. Spacing behind for Tammy Abraham, but just couldn't find it.
Nice pass picked off by Mason Mount. Sadio Mane quickly into his stride, having been involved in the African Cup of Nations until the final with Senegal. He was in pre-season training behind the rest of his Liverpool teammates. Joe Gomez, who still awaits his first Liverpool goal. Some very wary players out there. Salah. Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, you're always conscious as a manager, the fitness staff, but you don't get any fatigue injuries now. So early on in the season, where you're not 100% match fit, you're still getting there. You need a few games before that happens.
Abraham turning away from Matip. Zuma there ahead of Salah. Jurgen Klopp and Frank Lampard having an animated discussion just before extra time began, both smiling, arms round each other, both doubtless reflecting on the fact that they could have probably done without the extra time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was watching Lampard go in the little circle when he was addressing his players, and those are the moments when he'll be judged. You know, everyone will be listening to see what he's got to say. A little round of applause at the end of it.
Mane, Firmino, Salah's just checked his run, and it is Sadio Mane who claims his second goal. Liverpool in front, scored at the start of the second half, and now scores at the start of extra time.
Some finish, isn't it, for Mane? Some finish. I was wondering whether Firmino was offside, half expecting to see the flag go up when the ball hit the net. No, it's a good call by the assistant on this near side. What about this? Unstoppable, that. Worthy of winning any match. The only good thing for Chelsea, it comes early on in the extra time. Can they respond? But he catches it so sweetly, Mane.
Liverpool in front. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Sadio Mane with his second of the evening.
Now the score is Chelsea 1.
Can Chelsea find a response? Mane again. Getting away from Azpilicueta.
Guaranteed to be correct, whatever you say about being millimetres off. Chelsea, without VAR, could have had another 2 goals, couldn't they, with Pulisic and Mason Mount? That one may have been disallowed, who knows, because it was so tight. But the linesman didn't disallow it.
Azpilicueta. Firmino. Ross Barkley ready to come on. He will be Chelsea's third and final change. Not allowed a fourth substitute should it be necessary, of course, in extra time.
Yeah, it's a good change to the rules, that, and managers everywhere will be thankful for it in these circumstances.
Abraham. It's Tammy Abraham. Adrian just did enough. Well, for once, Virgil van Dijk was labouring stride for stride with Tammy Abraham, and it's Adrian to the rescue for Liverpool.
He's had a good match, Adrian. He's made some important stops. Tammy Abraham would have wanted to get a little bit more on the shot, but it was still a good block by his feet.
Pedro. Oh, that was reckless perhaps by Adrian. It's a penalty. Abraham goes down. Stephanie Frappart had no hesitation. The goalkeeper says he didn't touch him. Referee thought differently, and I think we concur.
Well, if it's a clear and obvious mistake, it'll be a bit ruled out. Always difficult because the ref's on the wrong side, you might say. Always difficult to judge whether there was meaningful contact. One of those, Tammy Abraham's going nowhere. The ball's always going to go out of play, but that doesn't matter.
The penalty is being checked.
She was positive. She made the call straight away. sure there's much there, to be honest with you.
Come on, Turpan, having a good look at this. The check is over. Jorginho has the chance now to level it up for Chelsea. Adrian conceded the penalty. Can he save it now? They can't look. They simply can't look. Jorginho's focused. Jorginho scores. 2-2.
Well, he feels hard done by. He will know better than anybody how much contact there was, but Jorginho, he hardly panicked there, did he? Clearly VAR feeling it's not a clear and obvious mistake, giving the benefit of the doubt to the ref. Waiting for the keeper to make his move, and Jorginho makes his.
Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2. Jorginho from the penalty spot, and Chelsea have made that change now. Ross Barkley's come on in place of Mateo Kovacic. Well, the Super Cup always seems to produce drama. Jorginho missed in the penalty shootout in the League Cup, the EFL Cup Final in England last season. Henderson. Poked away by Tomori. So important now that Chelsea keep their concentration, having got that equalising goal. Liverpool pushing for another goal. Barkley's first touch.
What a header by Zuma that was.
Mason Mount. Barkley again, fresh legs for Chelsea. Pedro. Pedro's found Mason Mount. Liverpool get the free kick.
Yeah, just needed a better touch. We saw it coming from a distance.
And one of the heroes of Liverpool's Champions League success coming on now. Sadio Mane's got two. He's not going to get three. He makes way. Liverpool taking on his former club Southampton this coming weekend. And a rousing reception he gets. Came on as a substitute and scored as a substitute in the Champions League final.
Yeah, scored on the opening day too, and it's a different prospect. With a few goals under his belt.
Azpilicueta taken into a cul-de-sac by Origi, the Belgian international. 2 goals for Liverpool in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona. That incredible 4-0 win at Anfield. Roberto Firmino on the injured list.
With Daniel Sturridge going, it's important that Origi can step up when needed. Otherwise they would have been light through the middle.
Conte. Barkley. Pedro. Abraham. How on earth did that stay out? Just tried to angle the shot beyond the reach of Adrian and put too much on it.
No, he's got to score. He's got to score. Pedro's waiting for him to get across his man.
gasps from those in Besiktas Park who saw that on the big screen. The attendance tonight, 38,434. A couple of thousand short of capacity. But they've enjoyed what they've seen.
Yeah, they've not been shortchanged here. Both teams giving it everything.
Conte scrappling with Wijnaldum. He's been very much on the periphery for Liverpool since coming on as a substitute. Origi. Stoppage time at the end of the first period of extra time. Origi's cross. Origi again. Can he do better for Liverpool this time? That's much better. Emerson got the shout and he was told to clear, and he did just that.
Yep, took the keeper out of the equation here with this cross. A really tempting one.
Alexander-Arnold with the corner. Salah. Gomez. Gomez. One last opportunity for Liverpool at the end of the first half of extra time. Maybe one last chance for Chelsea. Firmino. Henderson. Barkley steps in. Abraham to his right. Barkley might do this on his own. Shouldered out of the way by Matip.
Yeah, the run of Tammy Abraham didn't really give him a pass.
Half time at the end of the first half of extra time. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2. Sadio Mane scoring his second goal for Liverpool to give them the advantage after just 5 minutes of extra time. But then Adrian guilty of bringing down Abraham, and Jorginho levelling from the penalty spot. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2, 15 minutes to go.
And then penalties, because it has ebbed and flowed all night long. You rather think that there's a little bit perhaps left in it yet, but if not, then it will be penalties. Gianfranco Zola. Andy Gray. Yes or no?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like he has the goalkeeper has touched Abraham. Let's have a look from here. Really doesn't look like.
You see, that's another flaw with this system, Richard. If you don't have the definitive angle, then you're not going to get it right. Didn't look, I agree with Jan, I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think Adrian touched him at all. I think Tammy Abraham, very clever, went in looking for it.
I think it looks like a pen initially, doesn't it, real time? So you can understand the award.
They don't have an angle, Richard.
But when you look back
shows
at it, it's not.
No, they don't, and that's the problem. If you haven't got an angle that actually shows the incident clearly, what are you supposed to do then? You're relying on the referee's judgment. And I don't think it was a pen, but I think that most referees would have given that because of the position they were in. That's the problem.
That's a terrific goal.
The official on the far side is looking straight at it. Maybe could have helped, but certainly VAR didn't help at all. If that's the only angles VAR had, it was a waste of time. They showed nothing.
No, not really. Although you could see that the goalkeeper immediately, when he felt he was close to him, he really retreated on his arms and his legs. So
that was a good goal, mind you.
Very good goal.
Yeah.
Very good goal. Okay, here we go again then. 15 more minutes. Alan Smith, Tony Jones.
Final check of the watch. Chelsea too eager to get going. So, 15 minutes remaining in Istanbul. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2. Are we to get a winner in the next quarter of an hour? Are we heading to another penalty shootout? The last penalty shootout in the Super Cup was back in 2013. Bayern against Chelsea, 2-2 after extra time. Bayern won that 5-4 on penalties. Chelsea in front through Fernando Torres. Frank Ribery equalised. Ramirez sent off. Eden Hazard scored in extra time. Javier Martinez equalised in stoppage time at the end of extra time. Bayern scored 5 out of 5. Origi trying to burst through.
You just have to feel there's going to be a chance of some description at one or both of the ends.
Just going back to that Super Cup in Prague, 5 out of 5 for Bayern. One of them scored by Xherdan Shaqiri, who was on the bench this evening for Liverpool. He scored the 5th Bayern penalty before Romelu Lukaku missed for Chelsea. It was to be his last appearance for the Blues. David Luiz and Frank Lampard scoring in the shootout. Mason Mount away from Alexander-Arnold. Trying to get past him for a second time.
Done ever so well. First of all with a control coming over his shoulder, and then the strength and pace. Got his team up the pitch. Bit unlucky maybe to get a yellow for that. Honest enough tussle.
Caution for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Salah running into trouble and then somehow finding a way out of it. Salah taking a little bit of a liberty with Mason Mount and kept his composure. As many an older pro might have just flown into the Egyptian then. Barkley. Henderson. Henderson looks for Salah. Firmino. Salah. Fabinho. Matip. Wrong-footing Abraham.
Did a good game.
Matip looking for alternatives and options, and the ball goes out off Van Alden.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alan.
No, he's done his some impressive defensive work. He's good on the ball, Matip. Doing his chances.
Emerson. Spun out for a corner. To be a threat for Chelsea. Matip won the header. Pedro.
They hold the line so well, Liverpool. Difficult for those Chelsea players to make a run in behind.
Last 5 minutes. Chelsea looking to exploit the free. In by Mason Mount. Flew off Zuma's head.
Flag went up.
Origi. Aspilicueta. Jorginho started all but one game in the Premier League last season for Chelsea. Very much Maurizio Sarri's go-to midfielder, having played under him at Napoli.
It looks like he's going to play a similar role in that.
Mason Mount held up by Matip. Emerson, he got that horribly wrong.
Tired-looking cross, wasn't it?
Well, he's shown his fatigue already in this second period of extra time. Another grimace from him. Pedro. Mason Mount. It's come away from Pedro. Mason Mount. It's come away from Adrian.
Flag's gone up again. Presumably on Tammy Abraham.
Still needed the intervention of Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, he closed the door quickly, didn't he, the Dutchman?
Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk going back to his former club Southampton. Liverpool playing what was then a world record €86 million fee for the Dutch international, the Netherlands skipper. Record fee which has subsequently been beaten by Harry Maguire following his switch from Leicester City to Manchester United. And an impressive start against Chelsea at the weekend.
Looked the part. Wasn't intimidated one bit.
Barkley. Ross Barkley, once of Everton. And they'll know that. Is it going to be another famous night in Istanbul where Liverpool, by virtue of a penalty shootout, won the Champions League against all the odds in 2005? Or is it Chelsea's turn to make up for the disappointment of losing on their last two appearances in the UEFA Super Cup? Jorginho.
Thought Barkley was going and he didn't.
Firmino. Ronaldo. Has been kept alive by Salah.
A bit of cramp setting in. The sports scientists will be having 40 fits on the touchline. They're going to have to be busy. Get these players ready for Southampton on Saturday and for Chelsea. They've got another day, haven't they? Playing Leicester on the Sunday, but the recovery times aren't long. The recovery times aren't long.
Stephanie Frappart decides that is it. We go now to a penalty shootout after what has been an enthralling UEFA Super Cup. So much has happened since Olivier Giroud put Chelsea in front. Sadio Mane with a couple of goals for Liverpool. Then Stephanie Frappa awarding Chelsea a penalty kick when Tammy Abraham was brought down by Adrian. Jorginho equalised from the penalty spot. Extra time can't separate them. It's Liverpool 2, Chelsea 2 in the Super Cup. We go to a penalty shootout.
We do. Gianfranco Zola with Andy and myself tonight. Will they have thought about this, Jan? Will they already have?
Aspilicueta, probably Barkley, then Abraham. Abraham is quite good. And the fifth one, I don't know. It could be
Kante?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Emerson could be.
Mason Mount?
Mason Mount could be.
Can we just call him Mount rather than Mason Mount?
Well, the commentator called him Mason Mount.
I thought it was a hyphenated surname that he was going under for a long time during that match.
Pedro, maybe.
Yeah, Pedro must. Pedro must be there. But I think for me anyway, Jan, I don't know about you, but I think 2-2 is a pretty fair result from what we've seen tonight. Liverpool probably say we had more chances, but 2 disallowed goals, 1 borderline, 1, both correct probably, but more fair goals that Chelsea had disallowed. So I think like a pretty fair result to have drawn the match.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been a good match. They both had their moments. There was the beginning. Liverpool was started better. They created a couple of chances. Then Chelsea took over. They create chances. They play good football, and they score a goal.
That's a terrific goal. Really good goal.
Very good. I think Firmino, when it came on, he made a big difference.
This is not a penalty, is it? No matter which of the angles you look at that we have, it's not a pen.
No, it is not.
Do you know what? Do you know what I said to you? I wondered if the linesman or linesperson helped, but the linesperson pointed for a goal kick.
Yes, she did. The flag was not across the chest.
No, she pointed for a goal kick. Yes. So in her mind, it wasn't an offence. Obviously, she pointed goal kick because she saw that Tammy Abraham was the one who poked the ball.
How then can VAR not come to the correct decision there?
Because it doesn't have the angles, Richard. Or it didn't tonight.
We didn't need them, Andy. We can see it's not a pen.
Yeah, but definitively to overturn the referee, you need to see better angles than that. I don't think the angles were conclusive enough to overturn.
Thought that the VAR is a Bible. There will be still decisions like this one. They will be always uncertain. And they might not get it right as well.
What was that?
I think that was at. I don't know. Was that Matip or Fabinho?
Didn't look good news, did it?
No, being helped off didn't look good news at all.
So that end. Now who takes which kick first? The end to the right will be taking them. Liverpool go first.
Liverpool first, yeah. Yeah, it was Fabinho. Looks like he's okay then. I believe temperatures in Istanbul were really hot today as well. Yeah. I mean, right up there, the temperature. So it would have taken a lot out of the guys today.
Plus the teams, they're not still 100% ready.
Yep,
so
correct.
100% ready.
Yep,
so
correct.
It's normal that they suffer a lot.
So Liverpool to add to their European Champions trophy, or Chelsea with the first trophy for Frank Lampard.
A fine start for them.
Maybe not how players want to end a match, but I think we've all come to quite enjoy a penalty shootout, haven't we?
Will make sure goalkeepers don't come off the line?
Well, strictly speaking, under the jurisdiction of the European,
yes, which we are,
understanding of the laws of the game, then VAR is supposed to rule if the keeper comes off his line. Presumably, had Adrian saved the earlier one, it would have been retaken.
Well, we're assuming that. Isn't that dangerous with VAR?
It is dangerous, yes. But that's what
we believe that
should expect to see tonight.
The goalkeeper should at least have 1 foot on the line.
Yes, it's only in
when
England
the ball is played
where they've decided that VAR will not make that judgment.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see.
So here we go, the penalty shootout at the end of the UEFA Super Cup of 2019. Roberto Firmino strides forward. Liverpool will take the first kick. Firmino on as a second half substitute for Liverpool, now with the opportunity to put them in front in the shootout. Firmino scores, advantage to Liverpool. Firmino's job done. Liverpool in front. Jorginho, who equalised for Chelsea in extra time. This to level things in the shootout. And he's done it again. 1-1. Fabinho, who was fatigued at the end of extra time, who needed some attention on the pitch and who hobbled off at the end of extra time, in charge with the responsibility of taking Liverpool second. No messing. 2-1, a perfect set so far. Next for Chelsea, Ross Barkley, once of Everton. Barkley eyeing Adrian. 2-2. Barkley obliges Divock Origi on the score sheet as a substitute in the Champions League final at the end of last season. Now with a chance to restore Liverpool's advantage in the shootout. It's Origi, and he's just squeezed that home. Looking at clips of penalties just before this shootout began, Arrizabalaga went the right way, but simply the pace of Origi's shot too much. Mason Mount. The youngster Frank Lampard put his faith in at Derby last season. Scores a magnificent penalty. Confidently done. Next for Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, the 20-year-old, who played such a big part last season when they won the Champions League. Liverpool through and through. And again, it's just been the Chelsea goalkeeper. 2 penalties now from Liverpool, hit with pace. Free kick. Emerson strides forward. A picture of confidence. This for 4-4. This for 4-4. And he's beaten Adrian. Wasn't deceived by the goalkeeper's mind games. Who's going to crack first? Save your best till last. It's Mohamed Salah who is going to take Liverpool's 5th. Salah, who dispatched the penalty which got Liverpool on their way in the Champions League final. Can Salah do it again for Liverpool and for Jurgen Klopp? Yes, he can. 5-4. So much pressure now on Tammy Abraham. Abraham, the 21-year-old, Aston Villa, who won Chelsea their penalty in extra time. He needs to dispatch this. Abraham misses, defied by Adrian. And Liverpool's standing goalkeeper, the Spaniard Adrian, is their hero in Istanbul. Another night of Liverpool glory in a shootout. Glory in a shootout in Istanbul. Adrian, who was once West Ham's hero in a penalty shootout against Everton in the FA Cup in England, has now helped Liverpool to the Super Cup. Without a club at the end of last season, released by West Ham, and now lifted high. Chelsea know that they've got to lift the spirits of Adrian's outstretched leg, the difference. Look at the smiles on those Liverpool faces and look at the distraught expressions on those Chelsea followers. Alan Smith.
Always a sad way for things to end, but look at the ecstasy, the joy on all those Liverpool faces. That's as quick as he's ran 100 yards, I should think, for a while, maybe since the Champions League final, but that just shows how much it means. It's been a fantastic contest, it really has, no quarter given. You've got to feel for Tammy Abraham. I mean, he could have scored in extra time, couldn't he, with that? He could have scored in extra time, couldn't he, with that near post chance. But it's all a part of learning and coping with the disappointments in football. But I mean, what a story, Adrian, and so important for Liverpool to have him in that kind of mood now, going into the opening weeks, the next few weeks of the season, with Alisson being out. They need a confident keeper playing with authority, and that will do him the world of good.
Well, here's an experienced goalkeeper. We touched on it. Andalusia at the end of the campaign. He actually sent them a voucher which would enable them to buy some more equipment as a thank you. And now it's his Liverpool teammates who are thanking him for ensuring that it's their name which goes on the UEFA Super Cup of 2019.
What a story. What a story it is. And of course you always feel for the man who has a penalty saved, and that's what it was. It wasn't a miss. Adrian saved it, but should it have been retaken, I wonder? It wasn't a miss. Adrian saved it, but should it have been retaken, I wonder? 1 foot on the line, they say.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have a foot in the line. I'm now totally confused. I know the Premier League have decided that this sort of offence that a goalkeeper does will be decided by the on-field officials. That's fine, we know that. But I don't remember anything coming from UEFA.
You look back, Andy, the examples we've seen through the summer from
Women's World Cup,
particularly, where they were very efficient. And if we're refereeing by millimetres, which we were at the weekend for offside decisions, then
but you're never gonna get a goalkeeper that stands exactly on the with the feet on the line, because otherwise he's gonna be forced not to move.
Have 1 foot on the line.
Yeah, but it's difficult to have, because otherwise the goalkeeper, you are preventing him from move.
It's impossible.
This is an impossible rule. I can understand if the goalkeeper, by the time you take the shot, is already 2 meters or a meter in front. But
listen, we know
we're talking about
ridiculous it is, but this is VAR, and I don't know. I'd like somebody to tell me if UEFA have decided that they're going to let the on-field officials decide whether it should be retaken or not, because that's a strange one.
Okay, we'll be back to the presentation in just a moment. Liverpool have won it, and we will share their celebrations next.
This match is brought to you by Nissan, UEFA Super Cup sponsor.